Hey everyone, welcome to Reaction Shots for March. Lousy Smarch weather 2021.
March.
It rained the hardest, maybe one of the hardest times I've seen it rain in LA, but only for like 30 minutes today. It was just like, done. It's very strange.
Yeah.
How's everybody, how you feeling, Hubie?
Feeling good.
Good. I wasn't sure when you started that feeling. I was like, where are we headed with this? You're doing something with your beard?
Feeling
Could
good.
be upset.
Feeling good. A new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game got announced today, and so
Yeah.
anytime that happens, it's a glorious day. So we got that
So
from a
the glorious-
trusted developer too. It's the people who did the Streets of Rage 4, Ian.
Oh, okay, cool.
So some good people behind it.
So the glorious days are few and far between. If there has to be a TMNT.
It's been a while.
But that would be a good episode theme for this that I'll forget. Just like 80s and 90s movies. Have we ever done that? Just like movies of our youth, of our youths.
This is a really good one. Ones
Some of
that,
these
like,
from today's thing qualify, but
I love that category, Ian, of films that like stay with a generation.
yeah.
Whereas like if you were born at this time, like this movie means so much to this entire group of people,
Right.
but then anyone else is like, what? That movie's garbage.
Yeah. Well, Goonies, which comes
Yeah.
up a few times in our notes today, like
Yeah.
Goonies, I think is one of those where it's
Prime
like if you didn't get in on the ground floor on Goonies, you
Yeah.
might not have as much fun. But before we get into coming of age films, which is what we're talking about this month, one of, as I understand it, your favorite genres, Ubisoft.
I'm gonna be talking about a lot of those, the TV show side of things, Ian. I
Sure,
think there's been a
sure.
rise of coming of age shows
Great.
specifically.
But before we get into that, what have you liked lately, or at least seen lately?
Lately, started to watch Bosch. This is my dad's.
You're
Yep.
you're
is-
watching fucking Bosch.
I had to watch Bosch.
But you won't watch Patriot
It's for
Hubert.
my dad. It's for my dad. It's his favorite show of all time, Ian. Bosch had to do it. My dad's been feeling
I mean,
lonely.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that. I appreciate that.
I had to do it.
appreciate that.
So started Bosch.
It is the quintessential dad show, is
It
my
is.
understanding.
It is
We had-
so dad. Like I started to watch it, and like Beth and I usually will like watch things together, or like if we watch something alone, like we'll let the other one like, oh, I'm just gonna do this, or oh, you should watch this too. I was like, the show is very dad. It's a very dad show.
On Stir Crazy, we had Sarah Silverman on, and apparently she's obsessed with Bosch. And the host of the show got the guy who plays Bosch to like record a message for Sarah Silverman.
Awesome.
Welcome
It's,
her to being a dad.
the Man in Black,
pretty
dude, Titus Welliver, or what
Yeah,
how do I pronounce
yeah,
his
yeah,
last
yeah.
name.
Who
Cool
is
show
he in
though.
Men in Black?
The Man in Black from Lost.
Oh, the Man in Black. Right. I was like, he's not in Men in Black, dude. What are you talking about?
They shoot a lot of LA locations, and the opening of the show was Vin Scully, the famous Dodgers play-by-play announcer. So I was immediately hooked on that.
Because you're a fucking dad, dude.
I know.
You just gotta have a kid and seal the deal.
Serious. What else? We've been watching a lot of stuff recently. It's I always blank out right when you ask the question.
I write them down because I always forget to.
Yeah, I should write them down, dude. I finished Warrior. I brought that up last time. I really want to hype that up, dude. It's one of my freaking favorite shows now. I hope it continues on. Just martial arts. Incredible. 10 out of 10. That's about it. Just some
Okay.
anime here. Pacific Rim the Black, dude. Pacific.
That's an anime?
Yes. Pacific Rim the Black. There's 7 episodes on Netflix. Episodes are like 18 minutes, dude. So short. I've watched 3 of them, so I have 4 left, and I'm invested, heavily invested. I get bummed, man. Pacific Rim. It deserves better. It deserves more. Like one of the lead writers just came out and said that they wanted to do MonsterVerse, cross it over with Godzilla and Kong.
That'd be cool.
But it never happened. The movie didn't do well enough. Sucks.
'Tis a shame.
And the last thing to lead into the conversation, Ian, the last thing that I want to bring up, I'm sure it'll be brought up later, is My Brilliant Friend. I brought this up a while ago when season 1 was airing, many years ago on Movie Podcast. This fucking show. There is nothing better, period. This is the easiest 10. Everyone write it down. Everyone take notice. This show. My maximum amount of hype and endorsement. The show is the best. It is about 2 young girls coming of age in post-war Italy. And it is so immersive and absorbing. I care so deeply about these 2 characters. It is unreal. It's just about the like growing up in that area during that time. It's about education. It is about like how you survive. It's about being a woman specifically in this time and how you're just treated as second rate. How much like this family will sacrifice to put one of their daughters through like school just to get an education. It's so enthralling. I cannot recommend it enough. My Brilliant Friend. It's based on books. There's like 4 of these books. Elena Ferrante. It's a pseudonym. No one knows who the author really is.
Cool.
The author also works on the show.
Oh, wow.
And season 2 wrapped a little while ago. We just got around to catching up on season 2. Season 3 will be hopefully at some point in the future. Highly recommend. Highly. The most. The best.
I hope the author doesn't turn out to be somebody bad.
I know.
Like, I'm like, why are you
Yeah.
hiding? Is it for
Yeah.
fun, or are you like a scuzzlord?
I think the show is like I think the whole thing is autobiographical. So it's like the pseudonym author is writing this story, which could be like based on their life. So it adds kind of a little element to it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Well, that sounds really cool.
It's so good. It's so good. It's on HBO Max. I didn't
HBO
mention
Max.
that.
What's it rated?
Yeah. It's for sure adult. It
Okay.
gets pretty heavy.
There's swearing and stuff?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
heavy duty. Subtitles. It's time.
Okay, all right. Subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta watch Titus. I still want to watch... Or not Titus. Lupin.
Same, dude. Same.
I gotta watch Lupin.
Same.
Titus Welliver got into my noggin there.
Can I bring up one more that I forgot? I'm really sorry.
You can
Ian.
bring up as
Because
much as you want, man.
this is another.
It's just the 2 of us. It's easy breezy tonight.
I think you had watched this maybe when it came out. Maybe I'm wrong. Unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
I say that every time. I say it every damn time.
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh my god. Okay, this is as hardcore. This is hard. This is about a serial rapist. Very hard.
Oh.
Very difficult. Yes. It has Toni Collette
Well, she's good.
and Caitlin Dever from Booksmart. You just watched it.
Oh, yeah, I love Booksmart.
And Justified, yes. And I forget
Justified is dope.
I forget the other actress's name, but oh my god, dude, it's based on a true story of a girl who gets raped and they don't believe she was. And it's like over the course of 2 different time periods. This is on Netflix. This was a mini series. There's only 8 episodes. I don't know how the hell I missed this. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It is a 10 out of 10. Again, it's a hard watch. We're dealing with very serious
Sounds very intense.
It's handled with such care, dude. It's so good. It was again, it's a challenging watch, but it'll make you angry, dude. It'll make you angry and like want change and like want to take action. Like it's so good. Again, I don't know how I missed it, and I just watched it like this week. All of it just it's so good.
It sounds like I May Destroy You. That show is really good. It's super intense.
I want to get to that one too, for sure. You were telling me about that one.
It's really good. I still have to finish it. It was like it was so much that I was like, I need a breather.
Yeah. Watch a comedy after or something. Just like.
I recently saw that Alexis from Schitt's Creek is confirmed for Russian Doll season 2.
Oh,
and
sick.
That's exciting.
Nice. I'm only on like we started Schitt's Creek. We got like halfway through season 1.
It's a cute show. I think it picks up as it goes. I think
Nice.
it really finds its kind of heart season 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good, but it really kind of like gets its stride
Nice.
in the middle, and then it ends really well.
Nice. That's it.
What I've seen lately, we rewatched both Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmeses.
Hell yeah.
Easy fun.
Hell
You know,
yeah.
easy quarantine vibes fun. Like, not great movies, but, you know, I enjoy them. And the music and outfits are just so fantastic.
Yeah.
Rewatched Prometheus yesterday.
Holy
or
shit.
Saturday.
Why?
Because
What happened?
I've long had a theory, you know this.
Yeah.
I've long had a theory that I could edit stuff out of that movie and make it better. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's possible. Having watched it again for the second time, there are just too many dumb things. Also, I noticed way more like Jesus metaphor stuff in it too, and I'm just like, Ridley, pump the brakes, dude. This is Alien, man. But yeah, Prometheus does not hold up. I watched Coming to America.
Nice.
The number 2, which was a lot of fun. I mean, I grew up watching Coming to America,
Yeah.
the first one, and I just love that movie to pieces. And so this one, it was just like a really fun time if you're familiar with the first one. If you haven't seen the first one, probably most of this will be nonsense because it's just like references to the first one pretty much. It's not like a great movie or anything, but I had a lot of fun with it.
Nice.
I watched, I can't remember, I don't think I talked about this last month. I watched The Kid Detective.
You told me about this privately, dude. I need to watch this.
I loved it. It's Adam Brody is this detective who, as a kid, was this like whip smart kind of like little brainiac detective kid who would solve all these little mysteries, right?
Yeah.
And as a grown-up, hasn't really, speaking of coming of age, I mean, Kid Detective kind of is
Yeah,
one, but he's
shit.
an adult, but he's kind of in this arrested development. You know, he can't move forward because he feels he failed on one big case, and he's kind of like stymied ever since, and he's just kind of living in stasis. But it's right in my kind of sense of humor and sensibility, and I really loved it. I also I watched I Care a Lot, the
Dude, my dad keeps telling me to watch that.
Rosamund Pike one. You
Yeah.
dig it, I think. I liked it. It was good. I liked Kid Detective more, but
Nice.
I Care a Lot was fun on Netflix. A lot of good stuff in that one.
Nice.
And then Hubie, I wanted to talk to you about this, man, because I
What do you got for me?
was you know eating dinner or whatever in the living room, and Omar's watching something,
Yeah.
and he's been going through Shield lately. And he's done, I guess, with that now. And then he watched the Inhumans, and he was just like, "This is horrible." But then now I was like sitting there watching, you know, and I was just like, "Well," I was like, "Well, this is fun. This is a cute little show," and you know,
Yeah.
and I got sucked in. Turns out, you know, I found out pretty fast that it was Agent Carter.
Nice.
So I think I jumped in on episode like 4 or 3 or
Yes.
so, and we just finished season 1 last night.
Dude, awesome. Sousa hype.
Dude, Sousa, Agent
Sousa, dude.
Agent Carter, dude, it's a cute
Yep.
show.
Oh, it's incredible. I love it
And
so much.
It seems to be canon still. Like,
Yeah,
don't know.
you never know with all that stuff. It's all, you know, that'll be
Kevin
debated
Feige's
until...
executive producer on it. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's the there was a one shot, Ian. They did Marvel one shots. There's like 4 of these or so. There's an Agent Carter one shot that is kind of like
What, like a comic?
it was a short film. It's like
Oh.
kind of a little backdoor pilot type. Worth a watch, really fun. But
That goes before season 1?
it messes with the timeline kind of because like someone gets a call, but like there's some weird timeline things. So it's like, is this canon? Is this not? Because of the way everything works out. But
And I was-
cool.
Well, no, that's Endgame spoilers. I can't ask about this. But I was wondering when stuff from that would happen in
Yeah.
this, but it might be a multiverse, so who the hell
Totally.
knows?
There's so many unanswered questions. I feel like. So many.
But Agent Carter, dude, she's badass. And the outfits,
Such
of
good.
course.
Love it, dude. Love it. Going
WandaVision, the outfits.
You gonna
dude, I love
do
it.
season 2, Carter?
Oh yeah, I assume we'll. Sometimes Omar and I will have like a show,
Yeah.
and we'll watch them together.
Nice, dude. Chad Michael
'Cause he-
Murray hype.
If he goes on a show, he'll get through it real fast, and I only ever watch like 2 at a time or something.
Nice. So jolly.
We also just like restart Patriot every so often.
I swear I'll watch it one of these days, dude.
We need to have like a goddamn.
I was
we need
gonna-
to see if we
Ian-
can do a watch party on Twitch and
I
just
s-
like watch it.
I was hovering over it, and then I thought of you and I thought of my dad, and my dad won out. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Well,
My dad-
I appreciate that. That works.
Because my dad
That
had
makes
been bugging
sense.
me for years as well. So it's kind of a Patriot situation.
to watch Bosch.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was on me about Justified back in the day. I watched like the first season or 2 and I haven't finished it, but I really liked it, so I should finish it. Yeah, I like
yeah.
Justified. But yeah, let's get into the topic for this month: coming of age films. People had a decent amount to say about this, about pretty much average amount to say about this.
Ian, what do you before you begin, this will be the last reaction shots before the Snyder Cut.
Oh God!
What do you think about that? High
Wait, when is
stakes.
this? When is the Snyder Cut?
It's next week.
Oh God! What day?
I don't even know, dude. Yeah, better clear your schedule. Dude.
Yeah, Snyder Cut release date, dude. I'm googling it. March 18th.
Dude, I wish we could do a watch party for it.
That's Thursday.
He's so hype.
A week from tomorrow, as we tape.
Is there any way to watch it with people? It'd be too
God,
fun.
I mean, individually we
Yeah.
could, but not showing it online or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
All right, sorry to derail. That just popped into my head.
Oh no, I mean, I think that's that's my Friday night, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that nightmare. I anticipate it will feel very long.
Yeah. 2.5 hour mark. You still got 90 more minutes. Whew.
If not more, dude. Like, isn't it 4 plus?
I think it's 4 flat.
Oh, okay. God.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
We'll talk about it. Are we doing a spoiler mode on that?
Dude, we should. We got to.
Oh God.
We've got to.
All right. Coming of age. Oh,
Coming of age.
excuse me. Coming of age, dude. You remember?
Yeah.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But then it turns
So
out
much
to be
stress.
pretty sweet after a while. We'll start off with T Beaks 15. The reason for the season. This is the person who suggested this topic.
Mm-hmm.
And they say they've been meaning to suggest it for a while because it's a favorite movie genre, and they were excited to see that we were so excited about it. There's something beautiful and simple to these movies. When you boil it down, these movies are just characters growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's what makes them so relatable due to the growth in your own life and desire to grow in the future, as well as what makes the genre apply to so many different movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got just a few that I would like to shout out.
Yeah, that's so great. Before you shout those out, Ian, it reminded me, you always used to say, I think you still do, that self-destructive characters usually annoy you because you're like, just don't do the thing.
Usually.
And I feel like with coming of age stories, when kids are being self-destructive, you empathize more. You're like, it's just a kid.
Yeah.
They don't know better. You
'Cause
want
you're
to
like,
see that
well,
growth.
Because you go like, I too was once an idiot.
Yeah.
Like I too once thought I knew everything
Yeah.
and then realized I knew nothing.
Yeah. So I just
And-
love that.
You got to embrace that you're like never going to know anything, and then you'll be much happier in general. But T Beaks, Clarence Beaks. That's what I think about every time.
What's that from?
Trading Places, another great movie. Trading Places.
Nice.
Probably Trading Places. In fact, I could think of a few examples just off the top of my head that probably haven't aged great in Trading Places. But along with Coming to America, those two are the Eddie Murphy films I grew up with.
What's that about
anyway.
Beverly Hills Cop?
Oh yeah, I never really watched those. But when I worked at a movie theater in Chicago, one time we had a party where all the employees stayed after, and we watched Beverly Hills Cop 2
Hell yeah, dude.
on the big screen ourselves.
What about 48 Hours?
I don't think
With
I've seen
Nick
that.
Nolte.
Oh,
Oh, good one.
this is going to be a loose
Loose.
podcast. I can
Fast
tell.
and
Fast and
loose.
loose podcast.
Oh, I've had a lot of coffee today.
Oh, good. I've never had coffee. Though, and I worked as a barista for 6 months.
Wild. I mean, tea.
Yeah, I used to drink a lot of tea. I used to drink a lot. I haven't had caffeine. Well, actually, I found out recently that I accidentally had caffeine the other day because I drove through a Starbucks and I got a strawberry, acai berry refresher.
Yeah.
And then I was like, God, I'm in such a good mood.
Why am
Everything
I
is
shaking?
awesome, you know? And then I looked up the ingredients like a week later, and it's got like green tea, like caffeine or green coffee extract or something in it.
So good. So funny.
So it has caffeine, and that's why I felt so good, because I was back on the horse or whatever. Anyway, T-Peaks. They go into detail on these, but I'll summarize because we've got quite a few comments. But they bring up Boyhood, which I haven't seen still.
I liked it.
Have you seen it? You
Yeah,
liked it? I love the idea behind it, that it was filmed over like real
Yeah.
time, like a bunch of years.
Yeah. Saw it in the theater once. I just remember liking it. It wasn't like a obsession, but I remember liking it.
That's why I haven't watched it, because that's literally everyone's.
Yeah.
Except for T-Beaks. T-Beaks likes it. They say, I went into this movie solely because I heard about the gimmick and was expecting just that, a gimmick. However, this movie cemented my love for this genre. It so perfectly encapsulated what this genre is. The premise is simple: a boy growing up, showing small moments of his life that affect him greatly. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Then they bring up The Way, Way Back, which I've heard of and comes up a few times in this, but haven't seen. I haven't seen a few of these, it turns out. I guess I haven't watched a lot of coming of age. I thought I'd seen a lot, but then I was reading through the comments and I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, it's a big genre.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I haven't seen this one either.
The Way, Way Back, this is the movie that started off my love for this genre without me really knowing it. I had just finished watching The Office and wanted more Steve Carell, so I picked up this movie. Turns out he plays the exact opposite role of what I was looking for, because he was a hateable mother's boyfriend in this film. The hateable mother's boyfriend in this film. Unclear if the mother or the boyfriend is hateable, but maybe both.
Dude.
But in that disappointment, I discovered Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Sam Rockwell.
I was just going to say Sam Rockwell and Toni Collette in this movie. Shit.
Oh, shit. Gotta watch The Way, Way Back, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop reading so I don't spoil myself.
Yeah, looks good.
The Way, Way Back sounds dope.
Looks great.
Then they bring up The Edge of 17. I ended watching this and eighth grade right around the same time, and loved Edge of 17 while being slightly disappointed by 8th grade. 8th grade, I think, is by Bo Burnham, and I was like jealous of him, so I haven't watched it.
I think I saw that one on a plane. Let me see if it's the same one.
8th grade and mid 90s came out at like the same time and
saw
had
it.
very similar covers.
I loved 8th grade. I
Yeah,
saw it on
it's good.
I saw it on an airplane though. It's
Dude,
a
Airplane
weird place to watch it.
Airplane puts a
Yeah.
little special something on some movies.
Yeah.
Some movies it ruins. Other movies it's like, this is fucking perfect.
Yeah, it was dark. People were sleeping. It was like a nice airplane sesh. I watched that and late 90s?
Mid 90s.
Mid 90s. I watched that in
Those
the
are like,
90s.
that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
They came out at like the same time.
Yeah, I watched both of those on the plane.
I just bought a Kindle because I had a PDF I had to read, and I'm a
Yeah.
crazy person. So I bought a Kindle.
Awesome.
But it was so funny because I was sitting there reading this on a Kindle, and I was picturing myself on an airplane reading a Kindle, because
So
that's where I
good.
always see people read Kindles.
What would you read on a Kindle? Anything?
Oh, well, it's funny because I've been doing audiobooks for so many years. I haven't read with mine eyes in so long, except for I was reading Akira,
Nice.
because you kind of have to read that. But
Nice.
the next book I'm going to read is my friend Beth's poetry book, The Immortal Soul Salvage Yard. Shout out to Beth May.
Cool art.
Yeah, I like it.
With-
I don't know. I'm midway through Rhythm of War, the fourth Stormlight Archives book on my Audible. So if I was going on a plane, I would buy the Kindle book and read along with the audiobook probably.
Sick. 8th grade, I really liked Ian because I can't imagine I can't imagine being a middle schooler with social media. I just I can't.
From what I understand, it's like middle school never stops for them. Like middle school was 8th grade was total hell for me. I was getting teased constantly, as I think a lot of people. But like, at least I could go home.
Yeah.
You know, and it would stop.
Yeah, you go
I didn't
home
have to like
and you play
impress
with your
people
friends.
online. Right. You just run around in the dirt with your friends,
Yeah.
playing with a cardboard box or whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about likes or
24/7, dude. I can't imagine that. Yeah, going home and then just the pressures and the anxiety of the likes and everything. Yeah.
I mean, the internet is entirely responsible for my entire livelihood, but like the internet has some problems.
If there were
In
ever a
society.
double-edged sword, it would be
dude. It would be the internet, man.
But like,
Well, 'cause I mean-
I feel a little like we're older, so I feel like a little more equipped to like shut it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what I was just going to say is like, think about how much the internet affects us right now as adults.
Yeah. It's still.
And think about yourself going through that as a teen when you're going through everything else. Like,
yeah. It's a lot.
depression magnifier, man. T-Beaks then brings up Into the Spider-Verse and then says, perfect movie? Probably.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, pretty much.
Like,
It's one of the few.
the next Spider-Man game, Ian, better have like you better go into the Spider-Verse and like just it looks like the movie, the visuals. It's identical.
Except for
Just
like except for with a good frame rate, because like
Yeah,
the animated movies don't have 60 frames per second.
Good call.
It'd be
And there
pretty
is that
weird.
suit actually you can get.
It
you can get
looks
one of
really
those.
weird.
Yeah, it does.
I tried it for a second. And I was just like, what's happening? My head couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Animating on the twos. Okay. All right. Next commenter. They sent me a thing, so I have it queued up. Let me see.
Hello, Ian.
Hang on.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Cesar Villa.
Cesar Villa. Cesar Villa.
Cesar? Yeah.
The way he says his last name is so like subtle.
Cesar Villa.
It almost sounds like a B instead of a V.
Villa.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. It rolls. It's
Cesar Villa. Villa. I can't even do it. I can't even do it. I'm trying my ass off here.
Cesar Villa.
But they made a video of me from this show repeatedly trying to say it and then themselves pronouncing it.
That's
So I
excellent.
just thank you for making that, Cesar. I loved it. And I'm sorry that I'm still. Maybe what I should do is just butcher everybody's name
Yeah.
just to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Taylor Travis instead of Tyler Travis, like even if I'm pretty sure I'll just butcher them for this episode so everybody's squaresies. Anyway, Cesar asks, what does coming of age even mean? To me, or to be honest, I struggled a lot to find examples of movies under that genre because it is not a concept we have here in Mexico.
Oh.
I found that interesting. And they say the quintessential example is Stand By Me, which I guess everyone will mention, so I'll just add one to the count. But other than that, I have more questions than answers. Do the Harry Potter movies count? Harry definitely comes of age at the end, to the point of being ready to die for the greater good. Can you grow any bigger than that? I would say they definitely count. The whole series, like, is one big coming of age thing, kind of.
They count, but J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get into it, but
Yeah.
they count, but they never happened. Or actually, they just came to be with no creative force
Yeah.
behind them. They just
Yeah.
suddenly exist.
The Big Bang.
Yeah,
Just,
it's like the Big Bang.
yeah.
Just a residual.
Yeah.
Just suddenly these books like fell into a Barnes and Noble in Hoboken, and people were like, "What the hell is this?" Cesar brings up Clerks 2,
Clerks, dude.
and
Yeah.
I liked this because it says, "Sure, those characters are adults from the beginning, but during the climax of the movie, they basically let go of their slacker personas and become adults to handle their own destiny by buying the business that started their friendship." Which I love because I don't think that, or I think a subgenre of coming of age films is like the late bloomer coming of age film,
for
where it's
sure.
like someone realizing their potential as an adult or an older teen or going through some kind of transformation. I definitely think that would count.
Like Mallrats kind of even counts, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I mean, Kevin Smith in general.
Yeah,
These
Kevin
movies.
Smith, just kind of makes these.
Mm-hmm.
And then last, they want to mention Scott Pilgrim because, like,
Nice.
yeah, dude. Scott Pilgrim, dude. He should have ended up with nobody. Spoiler alert. Sorry
I
for
need
Scott
to watch
Pilgrim.
it again.
I liked
In
it.
ages, dude.
It's so good. It's got such a fun energy. T-Lair Travis. I can't fake everybody's names. Tyler Travis says, I remember the dangerous lives of altar boys hitting pretty close to home, despite not being an altar boy. And I don't feel okay not mentioning Harold and Maude. I know I've seen Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys, but I don't remember it. I have seen Harold and Maude, and
Dangerous
I love that movie.
Lives of Altar Boys.
It's a fun movie, if I recall. I saw it as like a teen. I remember almost nothing about it. I think I remember there being like sketches sometimes. I don't know.
Looks intense, dude.
It's pretty wild. But Harold and Maude is a blast. It's a weird one.
Jodie Foster, dude.
In Altar Boys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Queen Jodie, dude. Love Jodie Foster. Yeah.
Harold and Maude. Never saw it.
Oh, dude, you would love Harold and Maude.
Never saw it.
You would love it.
Who
I have it on
directed
DVD, I think.
that? Hal Ashby.
Yeah, dude, it's a classic.
Dude, the director
Classic.
the editor of In the Heat of the Night. Sick.
In the heat.
Always love that. I love that, Ian. Just
What?
like, what's this movie? Oh, who did it? Oh, this person. What did this person do? Oh, that thing. Oh, that.
Yeah.
You go
That
down
was like
that
when I
rabbit
was-
hole of just.
That's when I was like jealous of Sam Levinson, who did Euphoria, you know? And then I was like, God, he's like my age. And then I look up and his dad is Barry Levinson, and I'm like, okay, I don't feel so bad anymore. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
you bastard.
serious. There's a lot of that.
Euphoria is incredible, though, and it totally fits this genre, by the way.
Nice.
Dude, that show's fantastic. You would like it.
I watched the first episode, and I was like, I don't like you.
It takes a minute. I mean, you know me, dude. You know me. Like,
of course.
I take issue sometimes with people, and I mean, I know it's not very fair because like addiction is definitely like a disease that you're struggling with, but it depends on how it's presented. Because like something in like Sid and Nancy or whatever, I'm just like, screw you, you ass. Like, you're doing this to yourself. But in something more nuanced like this, I'm like, yeah, you're struggling. I
Yeah.
want you to succeed.
I gotta get punk on it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I like that they did those specials you were talking about last
Oh my
time.
God.
That's super cool.
Oh, they're so good. And it's just two people talking. It's just in a room, and it's so good for an hour. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's like a play. It's like, well, Malcolm and Marie is similar, but same guy. Happy Gaming says Spirited Away and Kiki's Delivery Service from Ghibli, Karate Kid, mid-90s, Persepolis, Little Women, Goodwill Hunting, Spider-Verse, and of course Stand By Me. And don't skip Wolf, children.
Sick.
A coming-of-age film for two separate casts. And how they intersect. What?
Karate Kid, shout out to Cobra Kai. The
Yeah,
best
dude.
right now. The best there is. Show is a
Really?
freaking 10 out of 10. A couple months ago, I got so obsessed catching up on this, dude. I went through the entire Karate verse. All
Is
four
it me,
movies.
dude? Is it because it's me recommending Patriot?
No, it's just so. Ian,
Is it the title?
it lacks excitement in the moment because
It's a very exciting show.
because it's older. You know, Cobra Kai is like I was catching up for that.
You're watching
Bosch,
so many old things.
Bosch is for my dad.
Bosch has the dad factor. I know. Bosch doesn't count. Bosch, I understand.
Warrior. Warrior
Warrior is the number one
Warrior took
analog.
Patriots.
I'm pissed about Warrior.
Warrior's done now.
I'm never watching that show. I'm never gonna watch it.
Warrior's done. I hope it gets renewed. It's not going to. Rip.
Patriot either, but Patriot ended well. So
Nice. The hell were we
but
just
yeah.
talking about?
I don't know. Kiki's Delivery Service is
Spirited Away, yeah.
both dope, dude. Yeah, all the Ghibli films feel like coming of age, and they're just fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's so good. And of course, Stand By Me. Like, come on. Also, Little
Yes.
Women. I've only seen the. I recently watched
Gerwig's
the Gerwig one, and I loved it.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I wanted it to win like Best Picture that year. I loved it
She wasn't
so
even
much.
nominated, was she?
I believe they were.
I remember she got snubbed for something, like director.
She did
or
get
something.
snubbed for something. I was bitter.
Yeah.
Sounds right. That
Oh yeah,
movie's
they just
so
not doing
great.
the Oscars this year? Like, what happened? I mean,
Yeah, the
COVID
Golden
happened.
Globes just went down. I didn't watch them, but they were remote.
Yeah, I don't ever watch that stuff anymore, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, Little Women's sick, man. I love Little Women. At least at that version has such nice. They come of age so well in that movie because like, especially Florence Pugh's character, who like, she's so frivolous and like, or seems so frivolous and like wacky as a kid, but then as an adult she's actually like super responsible, and like I really love her characterization. She's just such a good actor. God.
Black Widow, dude. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go already.
It's gonna be cool, man. Dude, I want to get vaccinated. Go back to the movies if Alamo Drafthouse hasn't gone out of business.
Straight up.
They declared bankruptcy, and I'm sad about it. My favorite karaoke place went out of business during COVID.
Dude.
Tough times, dude. The only things I like doing in the world are falling apart. Anyway, Samuel Cardwell. My first thought would have to be Gregory's Girl, one of my absolute favorite films of all time. That's very low budget Scottish high school comedy from '81. I'm not actually sure if Gregory comes of age though. He kind of just muddles through, but it's such an adorable wee film. I'll take any excuse to mention it, and it looks like it's up on or it's all on YouTube, and they linked it in the discussion thread if you're a patron on patreon.com/easy.
So clutch.
I hadn't heard of that, but sounds cute. Excuse me,
Ian,
Daniel Ray. Hello.
Does anyone mention Skins?
I don't think so.
Okay.
One person brings up TV in a second. Let me see if they mention Skins. I don't recall.
I just want to make sure that we don't go through this episode and not discuss the UK version of Skins, which is arguably one of the absolute best of this genre. I swear to you. It's as good as it gets.
That's
so
kind of
many so many actors in this show got huge. They went on to do big things: Game of Thrones, bunch of movies, X-Men, Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Skins UK, hype it up. They did an American remake. Not stay away. The format of the show is each character gets like an episode. So like an episode will be this character, and next episode the timeline moves forward, but each episode focuses on someone different.
Okay.
And then it's like generational, so it'll be like every 2 seasons they kind of shake up the cast.
Oh, okay.
And then they did kind of a revival type movie format after it was all over. So I want to hype that up along with My Brilliant Friend. In my opinion, as good as it gets. Super, super good.
Have you ever seen The In-Betweeners? That one came up a couple of times.
No.
Stephen Beaumont and I think 1 or 2 other people brought up The In-Betweeners.
Show or a movie?
It's a UK series and 2 films. Coming-of-age comedy much more closely reflects my own coming-of-age. This is Stephen Beaumont speaking.
Holy shit,
much
this looks
more
amazing.
closely reflects my own coming-of-age compared to the American fare. Cringe-inducing hilarity ensues with failed sexual exploits and bragging about said exploits, getting refused entry to clubs, getting an unfortunate nickname at school, whether or not I could ever watch the show again, reiterated how much of a mark it left on my brain.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. I've definitely heard of that one.
Only 18 episodes. Amazon Prime. 25-minute episodes. That's a great recommendation. Not a time-consuming one. It's fantastic.
Prime.
That looks great. Hilarious. American Pie mixed with Peep Show. The Guardian.
Peep Show I've heard good things about.
American Pie, shout out, coming of age.
I gotta watch, yeah, I guess. Which makes me think, I mean, Wet Hot American Summer is like the good version of American Pie, basically.
Dude, think about
making fun of it.
think about how big American Pie was when I came
American
out.
Pie was huge. And I mean, like, it
nuts.
hit right when I was at the
Yep.
target age for that movie, too.
Same.
Speaking of which, like, Lady Bird, she
Lady
graduates high school the year I graduated high school.
I love that fact.
So, like, it was perfect.
Gerwig.
Again, another Gerwig joint.
Gerwig joint.
Gerwig joint.
Gerwin makes it, I go.
Yep. Love the wig. I grr the wig. What the fuck does that?
If I ever see her on the street, I'm gonna yell that. I
Maybe
grr the
don't.
wig.
Maybe don't yell that. What the hell? What is this episode? Daniel Ray says, "Stand By Me," of course. Stand By Me is just like, ugh. I was gonna rewatch Stand By Me, and then I remembered how much the cut to the dead body at the end scared me as a kid.
Yeah.
So then I didn't rewatch it for this episode.
Yeah. Stand By Me, dude. It's a 10.
Stand By Me, dude. It's so good. I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Fish Tank, which I've heard of but haven't seen.
Is that with Fassbender?
Anything's possible. I
I
haven't
think I've
seen
seen
it.
that. I think I've seen that one.
I think it's older.
Maybe not.
Maybe I'm thinking of Fish Called Wanda.
It is with Fassbender. Yeah, I saw that a while back.
Huh.
I don't remember it though.
I don't know about this movie. Fish Tank. Huh. I like Fassbender. David's the only interesting thing in Prometheus. Kinda. Second viewing, he's a little overblown. But
I liked him in Covenant.
Covenant
in?
sucks, dude.
It's so. He's in that though, right?
Yeah. He's
remembering
playing
correctly?
He's the whole point. He's the whole.
Yeah.
He made the aliens. Covenant sucks.
Covenant is a 3 out of 10.
It's a 1 out of 10.
It is.
It is offensive to mine eyes.
I like the final shot. The
I
final
don't
shot.
remember the final shot.
The final shot is haunting, dude. It's a haunting shot.
What's the final shot?
The final shot? Spoilers. Is he puts her asleep?
Nobody watched this movie.
Is he puts her asleep ha ha ha, I win, I did it, or whatever?
Uh-huh.
And then the ship is just flying ominously into the dark void of space, and he's giving out the distress call.
Oh yeah, because he wants to get the aliens onto other ships.
Yeah. It was a cool final shot.
Ridley.
3 out of 10.
Has Ridley Scott always been crazy? We don't screw it. Let's not even get into it. Emilio Estevez. I hope actual Emilio Estevez
Same.
just said Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda.
Thank you, Emilio. Thank you, Mr. Estevez. I loved you in The Mighty Ducks.
Speaking of Estevez, I had no idea that the Mighty Ducks is getting the Gilmore Girls treatment.
What the hell does that mean?
A show after the fact with Emilio Estevez.
Isn't that the opposite of the Gilmore Girls treatment?
No, they did the revival.
It was a show first, and then they did a thing.
I'm just saying they're picking it up later, dude. The revival.
Oh, okay. All right. The revival. Just
Emilio Estevez.
Estevez.
I think she's in it too, actually.
Who?
Lauren Graham.
Gilmore?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The Mighty Ducks Game Changers. Coming out
It sounds like an award that Keeley would give out at the Game Awards.
March 26th. After failing to make the cut to join the now powerhouse Mighty Ducks junior hockey team, 12-year-old Evan's mother encourages him to form a new team of underdogs with help from Gordon Bombay, the Ducks' original coach. So I think the Mighty Ducks now are the villains.
Oh,
and Gordon
shit.
Bombay. Yeah, dude, get hyped.
They went corporate, dude.
Get so
Oh,
Lauren
that's
Graham
cool,
and
dude.
Emilio Estevez, dude. I think it's on Disney Plus.
This is too much information.
It's a Disney Plus joint.
This is too much. This is like this.
Yeah,
If they brought back Flight of the Navigator, dude, I would lose my marbles. Wait, they probably made some shitty TV sequels, didn't they, for Flight of the Navigator? I love Flight of the Navigator, man. Fun fact: parts of Mighty Ducks 1 or 2, maybe 2, were shot in my hometown in the national park,
dude, Mighty
or
Ducks
the interstate park.
coming of age, dude.
Same as A Serious Man. Parts of it are shot in the park in my hometown. My hometown is beautiful. St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin.
It's a beautiful name.
It
Whenever you say the name, every single time, Ian, I'm not even kidding. Every time you say it, my mind sees a tranquil thicket with a waterfall coming down.
They're
Just mountains, snow-peaked mountains in the back, some trees. Every time.
well, there aren't any mountains because it's Wisconsin, but it's the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. I think it is a big hill, though. The whole town is built on a hill, and I think it is high enough to actually classify as a mountain, but only just. And the dam, there's a dam instead of the falls. So our sister city across, our sister town across the river is called Taylor's Falls, and the falls were called Taylor's Falls, but it was replaced with a dam in the 1900s. My town is the site of one of the world's largest log jams in history.
Whoa.
To my understanding.
That's very farm vibes.
Yeah, dude.
Log ride.
Yeah, dude. Central Falls, Wisconsin. Check it out.
Shout out.
If you're ever in the area, check it out. Anyway, KB Holmes just watched 8th Grade and loved it. Emotional, funny, gut-wrenching, relatable, and unforgettable performance by Elsie Fisher.
Yeah,
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that movie.
I really like it.
Kiraz, I just had my 32nd birthday, same day as Bossman. Happy birthday.
Nice.
And like the whole concept of coming-of-age films seems almost alien because right now I'm coming to terms with my own age, no longer some useful forest sprite, but my own path, the fabric of my tapestry weaving to take some shape, and how to find meaning and agency now that it now seems far more challenging than when I was younger. To be honest, I don't know many films that wrestle with this point in life. I can think of a few like Kicking and Screaming. Yeah, like it's like a quarter life. We're not that old, you bastard. Quarter life crisis movies.
Rachel getting married, dude.
Rachel getting married.
Million.
Noah Baumbach movies.
Yeah.
Kicking and Screaming. Kicking and Screaming, not the soccer one with Will Ferrell, but the other one.
Marriage Story. Dude. Scarlett Jo in that like wrestles with like shit. Like I just got absorbed in your life.
That movie looks sad. I haven't watched it.
Marriage Story?
Yeah.
Love it.
Sophia loves Adam Driver.
It's a good one. There was a good one with Ben Mendelsohn recently that I watched.
From The Outsider?
Yes.
Who plays Talos in the MCU?
Yes, Talos himself.
I love Ben Mendelsohn, dude.
Same. He's one of the greats. I can't find it, dude.
IMDb.com.
I'm looking at his entire damn film.
Ben Mendelsohn.
I don't.
Well, I'll start talking and then
The land of steady habits.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's the Hubert magic.
After leaving his wife and his job to find happiness, he befriends a drug-addicted teen. It's pretty good. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it's a good one. Okay. Kind of reminded me of that.
Ben Mendelsohn adds a few points, you know?
Yeah.
That's the Hubert magic. Is somebody just has to start talking and then you'll remember and go. Anyways, Kiraz goes on to mention that Almost Famous is a good one.
Yes. That's one of the originals, dude, of my childhood.
Yeah. I remember not liking it when I saw it. And then I think the star of that hooked up with an ex-girlfriend of mine. So I never...
Screw that movie. Screw it.
TMI, I guess. Not while we were together or anything. It was all above board.
Ian, I love this genre, and one of the elements I love of the genre is different time periods. So seeing people come of age in different periods of the world, different places in the world, different time periods in the world. Love it. I was talking about My Brilliant Friend earlier, and that's like 50s Italy. So just how universal the experience can be, but also how different, like when you really unpack it and get underneath it all.
What I think the success of this movie, and probably why I didn't like it as a teen, was because it felt too familiar. Because like the experience of the main character feeling like out of place and kind of embarrassed and like wanting to fit in but like not feeling like you do, that's like my entire life. Like that's like I feel like that always or did as a teen more so than now, sometimes still, but it was too true. It resonated like all these cool people and trying to fit in, you know, dancing around in their underwear, and you're just like, I'm out of my league, like what's going on?
I just want to be seen.
Yeah, I just want to be cool, but I don't want to drink or do drugs. Like,
don't want to say the wrong thing.
Me. Harrison Holt McHale says easily The Breakfast Club. Which like, I mean,
goes without saying. But
Breakfast Club's up there with Stand By Me, probably.
Absolutely, I'm glad it's brought up because something like that is like the Beatles, where it's just like all day, every day, any top of, best of list, it's always there.
Yeah.
So I think, I always wonder why there's some people just hate popular things. And I had a friend like that who always hated popular things growing up. And I always used to just think he was a contrarian.
A contrarian.
But then later I realized, like, it's probably just because those things, like a song on the radio, is just always played. So you just get sick
tired
of it. You
Yeah.
get kind of tired of it. But the Breakfast Club, it's because of the song and because of the movie, like, it's definitely overplayed, but it deserves to be. It's so legendary.
It's a good movie, dude.
It's so good.
It's really good. It's just cozy and
yeah, it's cozy. It
Yeah.
holds up. It's so, what the hell is the word I'm looking for? It goes down so easy, but also when it's over, you feel like you did something important. You feel,
yeah, sure, all right.
Yeah, like
impactful.
Impactful. Sure.
It resonates.
Yes.
Resonant.
Totally.
I agree. And someone coming down the line, I didn't organize it, but talks about like the class dynamics in the different kinds of kids, like from different walks of life, trying to get together, which I think is a fun element of that.
Wild how many times chills thinking about just how many times that formula has been replicated.
Yeah.
Breakfast
Well,
Club.
I mean, it's a powerful
Yeah.
message too, and it's something that obviously people deal with every day. Is like everyone has a different experience than you. You got to learn to get along with people.
We've been watching, Beth and I watched Degrassi, an episode before we go to sleep. We just, we brush our teeth, get ready for bed, throw on quick 20 minutes of Degrassi. And a couple weeks ago, Ian, was the Breakfast Club episode. They just did the Breakfast Club. They're all in detention.
Yeah.
Different people.
It's a good bottle episode kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's tough to do a bottle episode, and I think that Breakfast Club does it well. Sam Sorensen, 8th grade, Booksmart, which I love. Booksmart.
Can't ever shut up.
Which is that one? That's one of the actors.
Yeah.
Which
She
one
has
is that?
The longer, like reddish hair.
The one who's not the lesbian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right.
That movie's fantastic. Booksmart is fantastic. What was their comment? Even as a 40-year-old cis dude, I identify with my own teenage experiences in both of these movies, 8th grade and Booksmart. In some ways more than others, obviously. And both made me laugh and feel, which is much as I can ask of a film. Growing up, it was all about the Goonies, but not many coming-of-age movies really entered into it. At that time in my life, I was looking for a fantastic escape or comedy. I was kind of a stressed kid. Same. I didn't want movies to make me think, so I don't know if coming-of-age movies really entered into it when I was coming of age. Coming-of-age kids in movies had it easy. Apparent teenage suffering makes you selfish. That's funny because, for me, like, no one mentioned Labyrinth. But Labyrinth, I mean, was probably like a sexual awakening for many people, myself included. But like, it's like a fantasy version of a coming of age story, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going up against adversity, and like, it is funny, like, because I asked about genre, like comedy, drama, whatever, but I didn't ask about like, are there a lot of, like, sci-fi coming of age or fantasy coming of age? Because, I mean, like, those are always analogs for real-life problems.
Yeah.
I guess Lost in Space tackles some of it, but...
I mean, Hunger Games, kind of. They're
Games.
growing up in those...
Battle Royale, dude.
Those sections, those
Battle
city
Royale.
sections. Yeah. Battle Royale, dude, for sure. I think of, oh, God, this is a horrible example, but I watched it recently. The Walking Dead World Beyond. It was the whole premise, Ian, is that it's the first generation of kids that grows up in the zombie apocalypse.
Not knowing anything but zombies.
So I thought that premise was cool.
I hadn't heard that was the I just heard it was like the young adult
Yeah.
Walking Dead, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Well,
so
money, but...
They've never known anything but zombies.
That's an interesting concept, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not a good show.
It's not very good.
All right, so we've been going for an hour, and this is when I claim to try to go faster, so I'm gonna breeze through people's real quick. Sage Mode Q brings up King of Staten Island.
I still need to see it.
Loosely based on Pete Davidson's real life stuff. They mentioned that they were skeptical, and I admit I've been skeptical as well, which is why I haven't seen it, but they said it was actually pretty good. And then also Kids on the Slope, an anime by Shinichiro Watanabe, the same director as Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, which I haven't seen, but I've heard is good. I mean, I've seen Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, and I love them, but...
Shout out to Naruto, #1, coming of age ninja.
True. True. Colt Smith has a whole slew of them here. I'm going to rattle them off. Breakfast Club, Dead Poet Society, Stand By Me, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which we haven't talked about yet. That's a classic.
Absolute classic.
Lady Bird, Book Smart, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, 10 Things I Hate About You. I love that movie. That's a fun movie.
Oh
Taming of the Shrew, bro.
Dude, 10 Things I Hate About You. Great.
10 Things I Hate About You, dude.
Great pick.
Also, Romeo and Juliet from 96, dude.
Sure. Leo.
Watershed moment in my life, that movie. What a soundtrack. What a...
It's like Smashing Pumpkins in it, maybe, or something.
Oh, yeah, probably. And, like, I mean, Radiohead's all up in there. Talk show host, dude. Exit music for a film, dude. So good. Either thou or I or both must go with him. So emo, dude. That movie as a depressed teen. As a depressed teen, that movie hit me right where I lived, you know?
That should be its genre, dude. Depressed teen.
Depressed teen.
Romeo and Juliet,
yeah,
96.
Straight up is. Boys in the Hood, and then TV picks, Gilmore Girls, because damn straight, In-Betweeners, Dairy Girls, and That 70s Show.
Dairy Girls, dude, I'm watching it right now.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Devin Q. Jordan Patanod says Ginger Snaps and Raw. Some different takes, dude. Different takes here.
Ginger Snaps, shout out.
I haven't seen Ginger Snaps. I've heard it's cool.
Fantastic, Ian. I think you would really like that one, dude.
Is it werewolves?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted to watch Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
I know of Raw, and I've heard it's pretty intense, but same with the Bad Batch. Which I
haven't seen that. I know Raw's like eating flesh,
cannibal
right?
movies, yeah, like a couple of cannibal movies. I think Raw was the one where the gimmick was like they were giving out like puke bags in the theaters because like people couldn't handle it, but it was like, you know, just a marketing thing.
Yeah.
Very 70s marketing thing. Would You Kindly brings up says the best coming of age films are the films by French Canadian Xavier Dolan. I'm going to try this. Altogether, his films are a Gesamtkunstwerk, which means like a totality, like a total artwork, and involves like every medium.
Yeah.
But it's no surprise he always wins in Cannes. Mommy, Lawrence Anyways, I Killed My Mother, Heartbeats, and they focus on usually gay youth. He often plays them himself, struggling with feelings. Sounds really interesting. And apparently he's super productive and prolific because he expects to die early.
Whoa.
It's like, what? I mean, I hope he doesn't. But yeah, apparently they're very aesthetic. Lots of colors and costumes and soundtracks are really cool and they sound interesting. The films of Xavier Dolan, dude.
On the list.
I hadn't heard of any of those, but it sounded great. Jesse Blue.
Has anyone said Et tu m'aimes tambien?
Nobody has, but if they had, I would delete it because I hate that movie.
You do.
No, I like it. It's fine. I think maybe it hit me the wrong mood, but I remember being really annoyed by all the like divergences, like when it would just like they would talk to some guy who's like a fisherman, and then the film would follow him for 6 minutes, and just for like it just felt very cute. It felt like it was trying too hard to be an indie darling.
Sure.
But like, I don't know. I was probably just in a bad mood.
What about City of God, Ian? I feel like
City of God is sick.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
City
dude.
of God.
That's a coming of age movie.
Shout the hell out.
I get it confused with City of God. The kid's a photographer.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. That movie's great.
Yeah, dude. And then there was City of Men, the sequel. I don't know if I ever
right,
saw that
so
one.
that's what I was like, there's a sequel, but it's not Children of Men. Where are they in City of whatever the first one's called?
It's a Brazilian.
Yeah, they're in Brazil. That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
dude.
movie is really good.
Movie is so good.
Jesse Blue says, I hope it's not to mention, but someone posted on Twitter, what's a movie you loved as a kid but probably doesn't hold up? And they thought of Weird Science. Definitely a coming-of-age movie. And Kelly LeBrock was Dynamite. Even though it essentially was a nerdy teenage boy fantasy movie, there was a lot of heart in the lessons learned at the end. Don't know how others feel, but I still love this movie. Don't at me. And then she quotes, anything bigger than a handful, you're risking a strained tongue. When they're like sizing her boobs on the computer.
I feel like Brandon Jones loves this movie.
Oh, I'm sure Brandon Jones loves this movie. Epic skis lord Brandon Jones. I'm sure he loves. I was never allowed to watch it, so I've never seen it.
Never saw it.
But I like the music. Danny Elfman, Oingo Boingo, did the Weird Science. You know, I love the song. Yeah, Tokyo Slim says that many of the films they wanted to bring up have been brought up. Edge of 17, 8th grade, way back. But wanted a second Spirited Away and then bring up Howl's Moving Castle.
Mm-hmm.
The Ghibli movies, he says, are really great at dealing with learning to have adult responsibilities and emotions and dealing with loss and tragedy and grief and emerging from those trials stronger and more capable and more grown up, which I agree. Keanu La'a says Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which absolutely, and their favorite character Cameron learns to grow past what he thinks others want him to be and just learns to be himself. Very true. Dude. Cameron's great.
Cameron Fry,
dude.
Shout out.
When they break the car.
Oh, it's so good.
That movie is really interesting because I like that movie a lot, but it does that thing that some movies like this do where it takes like a weird sad turn, at least for me. Like it gets kind of sad toward the end.
Totally. I think that's why
in a way that in a way that doesn't feel like all like I feel like I leave it more sad than it wants me to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get that. Cuz too it's like you drift apart, you know?
Yeah.
The ending is very like, well, what happens next kind of.
Right. Well, that's an issue with a lot of these movies, like Superbad and Booksmart and stuff. And it's just like, it's interesting because like sometimes you do drift apart, and other times, you know, like I'm in a group chat with like 3 or 4 of my high school friends that I've been friends with like my entire life, you know.
Awesome. And
like we still talk like every day almost. I mean, we live in different parts of the country, you know, like we're all far flung as you could be, but like literally 2 of us are I'm in LA, one of them's in DC.
Awesome.
Spencer from Canada brings up Good Will Hunting.
Nice.
Matt Damon's character goes from somewhat arrogant, immature, youthful young man to understanding himself and what he wants.
I love that movie. That feels like another one that's
it's a cute movie.
Just been kind of overhyped over the years so much, but really excellent film. Seen it a couple times, and
it's not your fault.
Each time I watch it, I'm just like, this movie is freaking amazing.
Yeah, dude.
It just, that one sneaks up.
I really like Matt Damon.
Love Matt Damon.
I hope he's chill in real life because I
Dude,
really like.
I've never
Matt
heard
Damon.
a bad thing about Matty Blue Eyes, man. Come on.
Does he have blue eyes?
I don't even know.
Matty, you just came up with Matty Blue Eyes right now. Who are you, dude? But yeah, Matt Damon, dude. Talented Mr. Ripley is like kind of a sad, like it's like a not coming of age film. Like he never. What a sad movie. God.
They're making it a TV show, I just read, Ian.
I bet they are.
Yeah, milk it.
What a slog that'll be, man. That'll be so sad.
Yeah.
There's some
episodes.
things. There's some things that just I can't emotionally withstand. Like the movie's long enough. It's great, but it's just so sad. N2 Bear Hugs says Liolo from 1992, which is a Canadian film from the late Jean-Claude Luzon, is a tightrope act mixing incredibly dark humor with tragic drama. Leo is a boy in Montreal who wishes to escape the insanity that runs in his family, so he becomes Liolo, convinced his mother must have been impregnated by an inseminated tomato from Italy. Tom Waits songs give the soundtrack a playfully, I'm listening.
There you go.
Playfully offbeat tone as Liolo juggles his obsessive masturbation rituals, the forced daily bowel evacuations monitored by his parents, good God, and enacting a plan to murder his abusive grandfather. Offensive, electric, visually stunning, vulgar, but anchored by deep compassion for the characters. Liolo is a poetic fever dream. I hadn't heard of this, but if it's got Tom Waits soundtrack, Leolo, Liolo. Ooh, the obsessive masturbation rituals reminds me of one that didn't come up. I'm kind of surprised. The Basketball Diaries.
Oh, yeah.
Which I saw as a teenager, and I think I was too young to see that movie because it made me really depressed. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was really depressed as a teenager. But
Leo,
the
master.
I also saw someone I think brings this up somewhere, but I saw "Don't Be a Menace to South Central" while drinking your juices in the hood as like
Yep.
a 14-year-old, and I was like
Same.
not ready.
Same.
I was not ready.
Shout out to Higher Learning. Kind of a coming of age story. They're on college. It deals with race. It's a John Singleton movie. Dealing with Nazis. There's like Nazis on campus.
Okay.
It's got Lawrence Fishburne, Ice Cube.
The way you emphasized Ice Cube.
Love
is
Ice
very-
Cube. Hell yeah.
Ice Cube.
Who else?
Ice Cube.
It's good. It's a good one.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, dude. Love Ice Cube.
I've never heard his name pronounced like that. Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. It's got Ice Cube in there.
There you go.
But
We're
it's
getting
not
punchy,
an
dude.
Ice Cube. It's Ice Cube, man. He's
Cube is his last. I just never thought about it like that. Ice is his first name and Cube is his last name. Table for Mr. Cube.
It's good.
It's like how Larry David says "Crazy Eyes" to "Crazy Eyes Killa" in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He always says it like it's his first name, and he's like, "But Crazy Eyes,
Crazy Eyes.
but Crazy Eyes."
I need more Larry David.
I gotta just go through and like watch that show. I like it, but I only ever like catch it as it comes,
Yeah.
Ryan Reyes says, "Hello, Ian and Huber. First time, long time. Welcome. Thank you."
Nice. Welcome.
Well, I guess. Do you say welcome? They've been here for a long time. Whatever.
Greetings.
Greetings. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for writing in. Happy to have you. So my favorite coming of age film would have to be the movie Dope. The reason it's my favorite. Have you seen this one?
No.
I missed it. I was gonna see it in theaters, and then it left theaters the weekend we were gonna go see it, and then I just haven't seen it since or something. The reason it's my favorite is because not only does it put a spotlight on blurred culture, black nerd culture, and the difficulty one has to go through while growing up in a poverty-stricken neighborhood and beating the circumstances life has dealt you. Not only is the whole cast phenomenal, but also the end scene when Malcolm is reading his college essay about not fitting in to the categories people may have prescribed for him just based on his skin tone, or how much of a nerd he is that he can't be pigeonholed with one description or another. Sounds good.
Yeah, I heard good things about that one.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for reminding me about that one.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah. Back on the radar.
Ninja Kill Bunny says, "Hunt for the Wilder People and Little Women."
Nice.
Dude, have you seen Hunt for the Wilder People, dude? You would like that
It's
movie,
Sam Neill,
dude.
right?
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Sam Neill and the little kid who's in Deadpool 2, I think.
Cool.
Hunt for the Wilder People, man. It's great.
Awesome. So many on the list now, dude.
Oh, yeah.
This was the episode where I was like, dude, my queue is about to explode.
Yeah, dude. Conrad. I'm just not going to try on your last name anymore. I get it wrong every time, dude. I'm sorry. But they bring up Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused, I was going to say that.
Yeah. Well, tell me about
alright.
Dazed and Confused.
No, just classic, dude. Just I feel like it's kind of like it reminds me of the quality of Breakfast Club, just that classic era coming of age story. Just a little edgier, a little grosser, a little more stoner.
Yeah.
Just kind of the edgy Breakfast Club in a way. I know it's not the same format, obviously, but just
I haven't seen Dazed and Confused, but I always equate it with High Fidelity in my head for some reason, but I don't know if they're similar at all.
I mean, just historical era coming
Yeah.
of age, you know?
Jason Wojnar also brings up Dazed and Confused. They watched it with their late father, who was born in the 60s, and said that, yeah, it's a fairly accurate representation of high school in the 70s, which is cool.
So cool.
Alexander Zirinoff, Interstate 60 comes to mind. If you've never heard of this movie, here's a quick plot summary. Neil Oliver wants to be an artist, but he has no courage and confidence to go against his father, who's already planned his son's life. At his 22nd birthday, Neil makes a wish to find an answer to his life. By chance, mysterious O.W. Grant, who can grant one wish per person, hears this and gets intrigued by such an unusual desire. So he joins Neil in a road trip over non-existing Interstate 60. It's like Kentucky Route Zero. On their journey, they meet numerous colorful individuals and get into multiple tough situations, which helps Neil grow and take life into his own hands. It's a wonderful mix of drama and comedy. Lighthearted adventure. Sounds cool.
Interstate
also,
65?
I love Interstate 60 is what they wrote.
60.
But yeah. I like stuff like that where it's like where you wonder, like, can this person actually grant wishes, or did they just like do they just know how to like make things happen and it's not magic, you know? Stephen Beaumont says Adulthood, which I hadn't heard of, written by Noel Clarke. This chronicles the lives of wayward teens in the UK when they have a day off of school following a tragedy. Watching these kids try so hard to be older than they are really reflects how the world forces us to grow up and put on a facade. Don't skip it.
Don't skip skins. Don't skip skins. UK,
Don't skip skins.
I swear to God, don't skip it. Watch it right now. And My Brilliant Friend.
They bring up Superbad, and they brought up The Inbetweeners before. Tef, Stand By Me, of course, the pinnacle. Small cast of characters
Probably,
relate
right?
to each of them. I mean, it's probably it was the first one I thought of. But Lost Boys is up there for me. Well, on paper, it isn't so much of a coming-of-age movie as most. It carries that vibe.
You're one of us now, Ian. You're one of us.
What does he say when he's like making him think he's eating worms or whatever? He's like, what? It's just enjoying your worms or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Boys in the Hood. Summer of '84, Above the Rim, Menace to Society, Goonies, and It.
Shout out.
Shout
Chapter
out.
2, though, man. It disappointed me. I need to go back
That's in keeping with
with
the OG.
less... Yeah,
Although
I need to go
the
back with less
original-
expectations.
Yeah. The original It fucking destroyed my childhood. I was afraid to go in the basement and shit,
Yeah.
so
Luckily, I never had a
never-
basement.
never watched this new one. Not a lot of basements in Los Angeles.
Ian, you should definitely watch the part 1 of the remake, dude. I mean,
You should bite my ass.
Yeah, sure. I don't watch Patriot, so
Tell you what, you watch fucking Patriot.
that shit is a masterpiece. Like I hold it chapter 1 in the highest.
What I gotta do is watch It Follows, but I've been too scared. I recently watched a
It lingers.
video. I recently watched a video about Gerald's game, and like I still think about the dude standing in the corner. Like that shit is terrifying to me. That's the stuff from Hereditary too,
Yeah.
where just like someone's just standing there. That's like the scariest stuff to me.
Yep. I've been
It like
watching
haunts me.
I've been watching a lot of true crime, and I've had I had a nightmare or two.
I
Where
can't
I
handle
just
true
think
crime
someone
anymore.
is there, dude. It's just,
It's too much. I can't handle it anymore. No one brought up Billy Elliot, and I'm disappointed in all of you.
I haven't seen Billy Elliot.
Billy Elliot's cute. It's a cute movie.
Does Paddington count?
Paddington's amazing. Paddington is an ageless angel. A beautiful, perfect angel who has no age,
Hell
is
yeah.
constantly learning lessons and coming of age without ever being tainted by the loss of innocence. God,
Freaks and
Paddington
geeks.
2.
Shout
Paddington
out.
2 is a perfect movie, dude.
I know. I need to see it, dude.
I asked what makes this time in our lives so zesty for these kinds of films. And people had nice answers, so let's see. Tef, the carefree feeling of these movies, no responsibility, just adventures with friends. Conrad says, I think that why this time of life is so ripe for stories is because it fits so perfectly between the magical world of childhood and the cynicism of adolescence. You've grown out of believing in fairy tales, but some of the stuff in X-Files can be real, right? And on top of that, there are the mysteries of sex, social interactions, and the harsh realities of the looming adulthood. It's a time in life that I think everyone can relate to. Cold Smith says,
Did
I think
anyone
that...
say Sex Education?
Oh, I've heard that's good.
Dude.
No one brought it up.
And Looking for Alaska. 2 more. Highly.
There are a
highly-
lot. I
Yeah.
would shout out. I would
TV
shout
right
out,
now with this. Dude, never have I ever. Never have I ever. Did anyone mention that?
No.
Oh, my God.
We've gone through all the mentions, bitch.
Okay. That one too.
I would mention I Am Not Okay With This or whatever, and The End of the Fucking World. Those are both great.
You told me that one. You
They're
told me to
great.
Watch that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch Patriot first, but The End of the Fucking World is really good. That one ends, too. It has an ending. I forgot what it was.
Patriot's just so dry.
It's not!
So dry.
It starts dry, and then you realize the tone of humor.
You know what it feels like?
It's like a Wes Anderson Coen Brothers spy movie, and it's so up your alley, dude.
It feels like a class. Like, it feels like school.
You are a bastard. I'm gonna punch you in the ass. It's not a class at all. It's hilarious and sad and poignant and touching.
I love touching.
And it has brother drama, dude.
Love brother drama.
Good kind of brother drama.
I love it.
And father-son.
Love father.
And husband-wife.
Love husband-wife.
And man and country.
Man and Country's pretty good.
It's not much of that. But it's about a person who's just really good, like, will do the job even at his own detriment.
Hell yeah.
And even though he doesn't even, like, want to or believe what he's doing, but he's just, like, he's dedicated.
Just to get it done.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's fantastic, dude. How often do I recommend things to you?
This is the only thing you've ever recommended.
Yeah. You wonder why. You recommend things to me constantly.
Non-stop.
Oh, whatever. Keanu La says, no one knows the answers at this age. You're too old to be treated like a child, but too young to be treated like an adult. You start to question concepts you never questioned before. You question people you never questioned before. You question yourself in new and scary ways. And it's just dramatic.
It is. And I love...
Dramatic stuff.
We kind of talked about it earlier, just like how high stakes it is, but since you're still kids, it's not usually not the end of the world. I mean, obviously some coming of age stories are really intense, you know, people losing family members and stuff, but still sometimes, you know, there's a nice balance where a lot of them can feel like just these such high stakes, but they're going to come out of it on the other side and everything's going to be okay, you know?
Yeah.
So, like Breakfast Club gives me that hopeful feeling at the end where it's just like, you know?
Like Moonlight. Moonlight, kind of. Like, I mean, he's older, but he never got to have... I mean, I think that's sort of a thing in queer cinema, too, where it's like, you get to have a... Because you don't get to have a teenage hood that you want, so you have to do it a little older, maybe. Who came of age the best? I asked. Which character is your favorite? Happy Gaming said Chihiro, or Chihiro, maybe? Or Sen from Spirited Away. Colt Smith said everybody in Breakfast Club. Keanu La'a says Miles Morales. Yeah, Spider-Verse. Spencer from Canada says Cameron from Ferris Bueller. Yeah. And Ninja Kill Bunny says if Batman Begins counts as a coming-of-age movie, which I say it does because Bruce is pretty young at the start of the movie and learns to fully become who he's meant to be during the course of it.
We skip over all that. Like if the movie was in that when he leaves.
Well, then Batman Beyond, he's a teen, right?
Beyond, dude. Count it.
Terry McGinnis, dude.
The best.
Love it. I kind of was just dicking around where I said, like, if none of us have found a dead body, have we really come of age? And then people gave me some really actually thoughtful answers. So Sam Sorensen says, when it comes to dead bodies, sudden acts of violence, or losing your home to a catastrophe in the coming-of-age movie, I think it's less about the inciting incident and more about learning who you can count on. They're the movies that show us in the emptiness of the void, we can find friends to hold hands with and laugh at the darkness. Nightmares be damned. Conrad says,
Winter's
I think everyone
Bone
has...
vibes.
What?
Winter's Bone vibes.
Yeah, Winter's Bone, dude. That's a good one. I like that movie. Although she's a little reactive as a protagonist, but it's still a good movie. I think that everyone, Conrad says, I think that everyone has different dead bodies. For me, it was my dad getting cancer when I was 13, putting the possibility of death in stark reality. He made it through, thankfully. That's good. For others, it can be confronting a toxic parent, going through a bad breakup, or so on. The key here is growth through trauma, and that can take on many different shapes. Spencer from Canada says, my partner and I have a saying that we like, it's not your fault what happened to you, but it's your responsibility to fix it. You may have sought out the body near the tracks, but you can't control how seeing it will affect you. I thought that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I have anything else you'd like to discuss on here, and people had a few things.
Sick.
Ninja Kill Bunny, thoughts on recent rumors that Batman the Animated Series is reportedly getting revived for HBO Max, and the team behind Batman Beyond saying they're wanting to make more of as well. Do either of these series need to come back, or should they let it be?
I mean, if you get Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, those two people, if they're writing episodes, I'm not talking about some crap producer credit. They're straight up in the trenches, writing, directing, then 1,000,000%.
Paul Dini was like all over that thing.
Yeah, because then it would feel less about a cash grab. You know, if corporate just comes in and is like, we're gonna make more of this because it's so popular.
I mean, I'm all about the rumors. I'm all about are this Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and my assumption is that that's Batman Beyond, and he's playing older Batman. But you never know.
You never know. With the DCEU, you never know. You
never know. And then they'll botch it and make it dark and bad. Ninja Kill Bunny wanted to do a Patriot check, but I think we've covered it.
We've covered it.
Still a bad friend. Yeah, we've covered it.
The Patriot check, Bosch.
Patriot check failed. Status Bosch.
Shit, dude. That sounds terrible. I'm a horrible friend. Yo, my dad's fucking pumped. So at least
no, dude. Dad wins out on everything, man. Go for it. I support that 100%. Jason Wojnar says, I like to think that Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan is a coming of middle age film. This movie, excuse me, I'm yawning. Sorry. This movie is specifically about fearing getting older, but also realizing that growing old does not mean the end of the world. It's shown by the ending where, despite Kurt going through a deep personal tragedy, he feels young. Can we also just appreciate that a major film franchise once starred almost exclusively old people? Yeah.
It's funny.
Happy Gaming. I always come back to the moment in Stand By Me where the main character sees a deer and chooses not to discuss it with his friends. For some reason or another, it feels like a remarkable moment of personal growth, and it's something I think about with youth now being brought up in the age of social media. Sometimes it's important to hold something just for yourself and recognize its importance as such. Mm-hmm. I agree. That's true.
I love that.
Conrad says, lastly, I'd like to mention a film that Tokyo Slim recommended last time. Wait,
Slim
did I miss Tokyo Slim? No, he said stuff before. The recommended last episode, Border. Which is based on a short story by Jean Ajvid Lindqvist, who also wrote Let the Right One In. That story is part of a collection called Paper Walls, named after one of the stories that could be expanded to a coming-of-age story.
Oh, it was this troll one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In it, a boy takes a huge cardboard box and makes a fort out of it in the woods, where he imagines typical kid stuff like him being a knight in an actual fort, until he decides to spend the night in it and something inhuman actually shows up outside the walls. Ooh. Love Let the Right One In.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Coming of age.
Coming of age? Yeah, well, yeah, kind of. Mm-hmm. Spencer from Canada says, technically our bones are wet.
With blood, right?
To which Ryan Reyes followed up, our bodies are mini dams and the bones are just logs that keep us in place.
Totally.
I guess.
I like that. We're just meat sacks, Ian.
We're just rotting meat sacks at the end of it. Thank you to everyone who watched and listened. Check out patreon.com/easyallies, wherein, if you are a $7 and up patron, you are a member of the Easy Allies Film Club, where you get to take part in these discussions from which I draw most of the content of these episodes. And
shout out to One Tree Hill. Nobody mentioned that, Ian.
Shout out to One Tree Hill.
Dude, nobody said it.
Doing this with your neck.
Shout out to the OC, dude. It's not a novelty. It's good.
The only thing I know about the OC is that SNL sketch, The Dear Sister, where they just keep shooting each other and then Imogen Heap comes on. Anyway, join Patreon. We need your money, please.
Watch My Brilliant Friend.
Watch My Brilliant Friend. Watch Patriot.
Watch Patriot. No, seriously though, watch My Brilliant Friend. I'm not.
Why is Patriot not serious?
And Patriot as well, but seriously, because we've said a lot of things over the course of this episode, and
it sounds very good.
The one I want to drive home till the freaking cows come home is My Brilliant Friend. If you take away anything from this episode, let it be that.
Okay, all right. We have a shout out tier on Patreon. And we're going to shout out some people right now. They are Elthanis, Greg, The Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb, Togi Crawford, Nick, Stephen Thomason, and Edsger Senpai Black Clover. Shout out.
Shout out.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's a patron and anyone who's listening or watching. Even if you're not a patron, we appreciate you very much. Tell your friends. Click that like button, subscribe, all that. It helps us out.
John Connor, dude, Terminator, coming of age.
Coming of age film, yeah.
You know, I mean, someone from the future is like, yo, you're going to be the leader of the resistance?
And you're like, well, big shoes to fill, bro. Big shoes. Anyway, bye.